Some of you guys are probably really surprised that I'm making this video right now, and some of you who know me a little bit better or have been following me since the beginning of my YouTube channel have maybe been expecting it for a number of years. But the truth is, I never thought I would be making this video for YouTube, and it's really something that I've made the decision to do recently, and I really wanted to make it for the right reasons. I think that people get really caught up in the whole YouTube scene and they end up sharing information and maybe making videos for the wrong reasons, and I definitely didn't want to make this video for the wrong reasons. My biggest fear about making this video is that people I know will see it, you know, people that I work with, people who don't really know me that well, and I think that most of them would be really shocked. And that's a lot more scary to me than people that are complete strangers watching this. One of the hardest things to admit to myself is that I know I did not choose the best life path for myself, and I know I didn't make the best decisions. And one of the reasons I wanted to make this video was because I wanted to let everyone know that even if you haven't made the best decisions in your life, or you have regret about some of the things that you've done, or you feel like you just haven't chosen the right path for yourself, that doesn't mean that you can't start now. And it doesn't mean that your life is ruined. It doesn't mean that you're damaged, and anything you've done in the past that you feel shameful about really has no correlation to the present. So the truth is, I worked in the adult entertainment industry for 6 years. I know a lot of you guys are going to wonder what that entails, and for the most part, I was working in strip clubs around the country. And for a large portion of that time, I was working for Hustler, although I did work for a number of different clubs, but I would say that my experiences with Hustler overall were my most positive experiences. And it feels so crazy to talk about, not because I feel like I did the wrong thing or because I feel like I did something that was so awful, but I feel like this has been a secret I've been keeping for so many years, and it sucks to keep such a big secret that really doesn't feel like a huge deal to me, but there's such a stigma around it, and it was something that I kept from my family for a really long time. It is something that has put a tremendous strain on relationships I've had, including my current relationship, including the relationship I had with my parents and relationships that I've had in the past. And it just feels like such a tremendous burden. And it's something that I've been made to feel really guilty and ashamed about. And I don't really feel like I did anything wrong, but I definitely don't feel like it was the best decision for me. But my life would be so tremendously different if I hadn't made the choices that I made when I was younger. So I can't say that I regret it, because I just don't really know where I would be in my life now if I hadn't made those decisions. And so many people have asked me questions over the years, like, why did I move to New York, or why have I made other choices? And I feel like a lot of my decisions were connected to the fact that I was working in adult entertainment. And when I moved to New York, at that point I was trying so desperately to remove myself from the industry, and I really just wanted to distance myself from it, and it was just a really hard point in my life. There are some parts of adult entertainment that I feel like are very misrepresented. I feel like I had a fairly normal experience. There were definitely difficult moments. There were definitely moments when I felt scared. And there were definitely some moments where I felt really, really depressed. I do associate it with some of the worst parts of my life. I don't think that is entirely related to dancing, but I don't think that working in strip clubs was necessarily the best environment to pull myself out of that depressive state. And I think that the most difficult part out of everything was when my parents found out. Because I know it was a disappointment, and I really felt like I let them down. And when they found out, it definitely felt like the worst thing in the world at the time. And I'm so happy that everything is out in the open now with my family. And I feel like they've always been there for me, but I feel like after that, they were more there for me than they ever have been. And I remember that I was so scared for my dad to find out because I thought he would hate me. I thought he would just be so ashamed and so upset, and that he would never forgive me. The day after my parents found out, I got an email from my dad, and he said, no matter what decisions you've made in your life, and no matter what you've done, we're so happy to be your parents, and we love you so much. And that was all I really needed to hear. And I feel like I'm finally ready to share my story with you guys. And hopefully it will help you guys understand me a little bit better. And it will also help anyone else maybe who's struggling and feeling like they're a little bit lost, and feeling like they can't turn their life around, or feeling like they really just took the wrong path. And I don't want to talk about it to condone my decisions or to encourage other people to do the same thing, but I just feel like my life is forever changed, and I like my life. I like the person that I am, and those 6 years are definitely years that shaped me as a person and really just changed my life. They just changed the course of my life. And I'm here to tell you that your decisions in the past don't have to control your life, and even if there's negative stigma associated with them, it doesn't have to define you as a person, and I don't feel like it defines me at all. I feel so removed from that part of my life. It really feels like so distant, but it's also something that I don't want to forget about. And now when I think about it, I really try to think about it in a positive way. And if there's one really amazing thing that came out of all 6 of those years, you know, I've worked with so many different girls, and everyone has such different backgrounds, and I really don't think I would have met most of those people if it wasn't for our job, if it wasn't for our decisions. And I really feel like we formed like a secret alliance, and even after all these years, I feel like we still have each other's back, and it makes me feel so happy. And it makes me feel happy to see so many girls that are intelligent and skilled and have passions and goals remove themselves from the industry, but still remember where we came from. When difficult things have happened in my life, some of the first people to reach out were people that I danced with, and it really just makes me feel like we have this secret bond that's still so strong, and we just will always look out for each other, and I'm forever grateful for that, and I'll never take it for granted. And I know I mentioned this in another video, but years ago I posted a note on Facebook talking about dancing, and it was when I was really struggling and trying to find the right path for myself. And I mentioned it in another video recently, and a few of you guys commented and said that you had read that note so many years ago. And despite, you know, knowing that piece of my past, none of you guys disclosed it, and none of you guys talked about it. You guys kept that secret from me, and I appreciate that loyalty so much, and I appreciate you letting me tell my story. So this is the beginning of my story, and thank you guys for letting me tell it.